everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Joey Evans.
And today we're taking a look at Super Boss Monster. And which box looks like the greatest game system of all time, except the Switch, which was the Super Nintendo.
No, Nintendo, but go ahead.
You pick Nintendo over Super Nintendo?
I would.
That is erroneous.
Well, I could not afford a Super Nintendo, so I had the Nintendo for far too long.
I couldn't afford either, so I'm unbiased.
Oh, so you did at a friend's house. That's even worse. Okay.
Anyway, Super Boss Monster is the follow-up to Boss Monster, but I want to be really clear. Super Boss Monster is essentially Boss Monster 1.5 because, first of all, Boss Monster is completely compatible with it. This adds a board of sorts where you can place little workers, minions that you're going to send out. But you can. There's some rules in the book that tell you how to insert the decks, but it's going to play very similarly. But it does add some changes the board, and it also adds some +1 tokens. There's some minor changes that it makes. Yeah. But you may never have played Boss Monster.
What?
So let's take a look at just how you play this game straight out the box.
As well.
Each person's going to start with a boss, and there are a lot of different bosses that you can play in this game. Malice, the Lost One. And then you're also going to get a room. You're going to have some cards from a room deck in your hand. And as the game goes by, you're going to be building a dungeon that people, the heroes, are going to be coming through. All that is done here on our dungeon board. In each round of the game, you're going to be filling a market with rooms and spells. Spells can be played either when you're building something or when heroes attack you. There's going to be various spells that can help you or possibly hurt other players. There's also going to be a certain number of heroes that come out, basically based on the number of players. These heroes are going to be attracted to certain dungeons. When you look at a dungeon, you're going to be looking at the icons in the bottom. You'll see I have 3 of these holy icons here. So priests may be attracted to my dungeon if I have more of those than anyone else. If sometimes these monsters or these heroes, like for example, I'm calling them monsters, but they're actually heroes. This criminal here says when he enters town, place him in the hideout. So he would go here instead. Now, why does this matter? Because after the heroes come out, each player gets a worker placement, and you're going to be able to place in different spots. Some of them give you extra icons, some let you draw extra cards, etc. But if there's someone in the spot, you can't go there. So that's kind of problematic. I could just go to the tavern and make somebody have -2 when they're coming in. After that happens, players are then going to run their heroes that come. So let's say, for example, as I'm going through this, there's someone attracted to my dungeon because it's the kind of thing that they want to get. So this initiate, that's what they're attracted to, the dungeon. They come through, and each room is going to do damage to them. But you have a chance sometimes to add counters to make rooms more deadly. And as long as they are dead by the time they get to your boss, that's great. You're going to get points for defeating them. You'll turn it over, and that's how many points you have. First to 10 wins. But you're also going to take damage if they get all the way through and aren't killed, and that will be subtracted from your points. There's lots of heroes in the game. Eventually you get to epic heroes who are harder to beat. They have more hit points, but they also will give you more points if you defeat them. And that's how you play the game. All right, first of all, 16-bit better than 8-bit. Okay, anyhow.
Okay.
I always like the theming of this. I like video games a lot.
I do too.
And they're very nostalgic for me. I don't play video games that much these days, but I love playing these video games, and I love the idea of going through a 2D side-scroller and avoiding the traps. And this game turns it on the head. You're the monster.
Which I think is what pulled me into this whole system originally. I mean, besides the art.
Well, let's talk about that. So the original Boss Monster, I just looked at my rating on it, and it's a 5. I did not like it because I thought the game was particularly random.
I agree. I did like it, and I thought it was random, and I think because of that, it hit the table far less. Although I still bought the expansions, but...
Yeah, there's a lot of expansions out there. I like the theming of it, and it has done very well for Brotherwise Games. I mean, I think they sold 1 million copies of it. It's very, very popular. Super Boss Monster changes it up a bit. It still follows the basic principles, but it has worker placement spots where you can place a worker. And I got to be honest, that makes for me, a pretty big difference, significant difference, that I can go to a spot that adds one more icon so that I know that that hero is going to come to me, or that lets me do those extra 2 damage that I know I need to do to that hero, and it takes the randomness down just a notch, but enough for me.
I agree. It adds that token that you need. So you can kind of, I mean, it's hard when it's an engine builder. I mean, the original one as well. But you're building an engine with completely random cards. This one, you get to kind of have a bit more direction. There's still that randomness there, but there's a drafting and a worker placement that you get to have a bit more mitigation. I really do like that a lot.
Yeah, and it's funny, you know, they have silly cards, there's spells, there's a smidge of take that, like, hey, I'll take one of the +1 tokens from your dungeon and put them in mine. And there's some rules about building. There's advanced rooms and basic rooms, and you need to put an advanced room on top of a basic room. But the game has a progression, you're getting stronger, and it's not super thinky. But I'll tell you what, I think there's 2 things in the mix here. I think my opinion on Boss Monster is probably lightened over the 12 years since it came out.
Really? Okay, good.
Probably.
I like that.
But that board makes enough of a difference.
It does.
That I can play this as a light side game. It's entertaining. It says 30 minutes on the box. 30 minutes for this, not bad.
Right. I agree. And I don't think it's as take that as some people feel, because
that's not my biggest complaint anyway. My biggest complaint before, like I said, was more the randomness of getting the cards you need. But like I said, the worker placement spots, hey, I need to draw some more cards. I can now.
Right. Which, I mean, you can get blocked, of course, but it's still great.
I haven't played it with the original Boss Monster cards. I'm curious how that would be. You're only supposed to use 1 deck of heroes, so this comes with a deck of heroes. And this deck of heroes have a lot of heroes that go straight to a building. If you play with Boss Monster, you won't have it. They'll just push each other out.
Right.
And that's interesting.
It is, and I will say, first of all, this got to the problem where the stack of cards, if you have all the expansions, is just massive. You will have to choose what you want.
And it's the Munchkin problem.
It's and then to get rid of the expansions, it is very small. I thought there was nothing to differentiate, but it is extremely small text on the bottom. I'm talking like 0.5 point font. It's insane to be able to separate those. I tried to separate my expansions. So for a while, I'm going to stick with the ones that come in here, then slowly add some of the cards I like.
If you like Boss Monster, you're going to like this.
Yes.
Straight up.
Yep.
If you don't like Boss Monster like me, this might bring you around a bit. I'm not saying it's going to be a game I want to play all the time, but I enjoy it. I'm giving it a 7.
Okay.
It's light fun. It's a fun theme. Also, I always rant about 8-bit artwork, but 16-bit I'm kind of on board with. That doesn't make any sense.
32-bit only. This right here. First of all, this is a great starting point for Boss Monster, the universe. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't go back to playing the original now. I'm coming in at an 8 because I do love Boss Monster. I think it's more nostalgia for me. I love the artwork, and every time defending Boss Monster had gotten more difficult because people would tell me it's not a good game. And I'm like, I know. You know, so
don't say I know. Don't back down.
It's just, but the randomness. But this, you can kind of more create that dungeon that you want, and then to see people come through your dungeon, or to send people to other people's dungeon that they are not prepared for, is fantastic.
Well, there you go, folks. That is Super Boss Monster. Super Boss Monster.
Super Boss Monster.
Super. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Joy Evans. We make dungeons.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.